I'm going to start and demonstrate something called auto record generation. It's a external module. All right, so here's the concept. So this is a project, and there is one site, and they have some instruments. Okay, let's just say 4 instruments. The first form is demographics instrument. So then they want to open some other sites, but they would really like to have all those demographic records dumped into their site. They don't care what the other sites, what information the other sites are going to gather. They just want one place for all the records that get created, not the record ID, obviously, because you can't have duplicate record IDs when you're auto numbering or whatever. But so the situation would be like if there are these other sites, and then, you know, site 1 has a demographics form and they have some instruments, and the other site has a demographics instruments and they have their own, you know, instruments. And so what they really want is those demographics from those other sites to flow automatically into their parent site. Okay? Hopefully you're with me. So we're going to use, let me see here, we're going to use this auto record generation module. Now, this is information that I'm showing you here is on our website for external modules. It sort of walks you through, and it's better documentation actually than you will see if you go to the external module and click on the documentation link. So let me pull this up here. So I've created 2 projects. Both just have 4 instruments. You know, this is, but they both have this screening form in common. So here's my first project. Here's my second project. Okay. My first project actually has a couple records in it. My second project is brand new, nothing in it. So I want to port those some of the fields or all the fields, it doesn't matter. You're going to decide when you set this up, over to my parent project over here in number 1. So when you set this up, the external module, if you notice, I put it on both of them, but really it should be just, you know, you only need it on the one that is sending the records. So here's the documentation just so that you see, and I found this to be a little less than helpful. That's why I wanted to point out that if you're going to use this, reference the website, or again, contact us at REDCap at email.arizona.edu and we'll help you out. So once you have us enable it for you and it shows up here, then you're going to configure this. So how I did this is, you know, first you're going to pick an email address to, if there's errors, you know, to send them to you. So the project that you want to generate new records, this means which one do you want to send the data to? Okay, so the easiest way is if you know first of all, it's only going to be your projects that you see. You can't send them to somebody else's project, so you have to be associated to it. But there's a project ID, and that shows up right here. Okay, this is the current, let me get out of this a minute. This is the project ID for my child project, let's say, and this is the record ID for my parent. So I'll come back here, look at my configuration. I want to generate new records in my parent. And the field to trigger the record generation, you're just going to decide what field on your project, on this child project, is going to force those fields, force a new record to be generated over here in your parent. So I just picked this email field. Here are all the possible options. And actually, for what it's worth, the instrument itself is basically just the one that we use when we do class. I just took out a matrix and some height and weight, stuff like that. But this is just basic. This is all kind of demographic stuff. So I was just saying that when I hit this email field and I finish entering in here, then automatically send that data over to my parent project and create a new record there. So let me come back to the module, go through this a little more. So that's where we're at the moment. Down here, we get into what fields are we gonna actually send. So note that the field names have to match. Not the labels, but the variable names must match. So I'm going to come through this current project and say, I want to send all of these fields over to my parent. I mean, the forms are identical. They don't have to be, but this is the information that I want to send over there. And if you want to add one, just like in most of the other external modules, you just click on the plus sign and it gives you the option to add a new field that you're sending your information to. Okay, so I'll save this. And once again, it's like a magician here. I got two records here. I'm going to come over here and on my records dashboard, I've got nothing. I'm going to add a new record. I'm going to put here. Oh, this was a bad idea since I just grabbed her name since she was on the call. All right, so I have a new record here. I'm in my child project. If I look here, I've got one record. If I come back over here and refresh this, now I've got a new one. It shows as incomplete because it came from another project, but here is all the information. And the subject number was left here in case I wanted to apply a subject number from the other project. I could have identified that. I could have identified the site, which would have been nice. I could have identified the record from the site, all those kinds of things. I could have ported over here as long as the variable names matched. But the point is, this way you don't have to do duplicate data entry if you have two locations and you want to hold all that demographics in one location, such as if you were trying to build a registry. So that's the auto record generation external module. If anybody's interested, let us know. We'll turn it on for you so you can play with it.